Hi, good night, everyone. Welcome to another The Shield Dude in the Couch interview. Today, I got Weslie Negron, founder and bassist for the band Moths. For those of you that don't know, Moths is a stoner, doom, progressive metal band from San Juan, Puerto Rico, where I'm originally from. So Weslie, how are you? Good night.
Hi, I'm doing well. I'm actually very tired. Had a really long day of work, but doing well. Thank you. Thank you for having me and for inviting me here.
No, well, thank you for accepting. Yeah, I know like you have a hectic schedule, you have the bands, you have so many things that I know that taking time to talk to me, I really appreciate it. And in this interview, so, I want to share with the people, that all the good music that's out there. And especially I like to focus on people in the Puerto Rico metal scene because I don't know if I'm from Puerto Rico really, so a lot of people don't know, but Puerto Rico has a very rich and vast metal scene, not just like every style from thrash, doom, punk, pop punk, like you name it, and Puerto Rico has it. And I must tell you, something that I miss about living in Puerto Rico is going to the local shows.
Yeah.
I've been to local shows here, and I can tell you, I go for the headliners, but I've seen some local bands that I'm telling you, the Puerto Rico metal scene has nothing to envy. Like there's some great talent in Puerto Rico, so
Yeah.
the world should know it. So today we're here because Moths recently you re-released, but in vinyl format, your first EP that first you released in 2016. So let's go back in time to 2016 when you were forming the band. I know that you were in Zafacon, and then you decided to go ahead and do Moths, which was more of that style. And when you said that you were going to do Moths and that style, to me it made sense because I followed you on Facebook and social media for years, and I know that you love doom. I know that you love stoner and prog. I'm like, that's right up your alley. So how did that project came about back in 2016?
Sure. So it was pretty much from that same yeah, I mean, at that point I was playing thrash metal, thrash death metal for about 6 years with Zafacon, and even though that we did have some prog elements here and there, I wanted to go a little bit more towards the proggy side, and by that time I was also really getting to a lot of stoner metal, a lot of stoner rock, a lot of doom metal as well. It was funny because I was listening to I went from like listening to melodic death metal and progressive death metal, like Opeth, for example, which is my favorite band, towards towards bands like I was really listening to a lot of Queens of the Stone Age by the time, and I was listening to a lot of Rat Fang at the time as well. And that also came in a point of my life where I was also like discovering a lot of 70s prog, and a little bit more obscure bands than the typical Pink Floyd, King Crimson, and all this stuff. I was listening to a lot of Curved Air was one of the bands that really got me like obsessed with that era of 70s prog. So from that point, I decided that I wanted to do something different. Obviously, by 2017, I decided to quit the band, Zafacon, and I already had Moths basically planned and running. So I decided to focus completely on Moths in 2017, and then we started recording the first EP. But then Maria came.
Yeah, that's something that I wanted to talk about. I admired you. You're very tenacious, and you never quit. And Moths, with the creation, first you had, and I was living in Puerto Rico at the time too, we had Maria. And for those of people that didn't live in Puerto Rico, Maria was a really huge, devastating, like hurricane. It was something that no one was expecting. And it really obviously was bad for not only the island as a whole and economic, but the metal scene suffered because there were projects that they were going to be launched that year, like Moths. And then you had to, wait because obviously we had no electricity, we had no water. So we couldn't play a show, we couldn't do anything. And so you have that adversity, plus then Puerto Rico, you had earthquakes, and then a pandemic. Like it's been a constant struggle, but in spite of all that, you've been able not only to release the first EP, but to release the collaboration that you did with the Stone Eye. So that to me is really impressive, especially because you released that one on 2020 when it was like full on pandemic, and you released that one. So it's something I'm about to say about you. Since I've known you, you've always been like, I remember the first time I met you, I think I was going to a Taboo show for when they were releasing that album.
Yeah, I think so.
And you were outside, I think, selling some merch, and I bought the first Zafacon album from you. And that's the first time that I met you. And you've always had that tenacity. You know, not a lot of people have that. Some people, you know, can easily quit, but not you. You know, you kept at it. You've been successful. You obviously, another thing that you've done a lot for Puerto Rico is that you produce a lot of shows. Like you've been in charge of getting people and getting shows and unifying the scene. And that's a great thing because like, there's a lot of great shows that I remember that you put together. So that's something that is really recommendable. So when you were forming the band, what qualities were you looking in a singer at that time to complement the music that you guys were creating?
Sure. No, thank you. First of all, thank you for those kind words for sure. I don't know. This is my thing. It's my passion. I've tried to quit many times, and for some reason, I just come back to it. I just can't. I get too bored too quickly. So I like to keep myself busy. To answer your question directly, I think. Well, first of all, the first formation of the band was with Rob Santos from Fulminator. He was our first singer. After Maria happened, and when we started recording the EP, him and Nico from the ex-drummer from Zafacon was also
Creation, right?
Beyond Dreams. Beyond Dreams,
right? That's right.
Yeah. I also played bass on their only live show.
I was there.
Yeah, that was a fun show. They both stepped away from band because they wanted to focus. Rob, he wanted to focus on Fulminator, and Nico wanted to focus on Zafacon at that time. And basically, you know, I don't think it was really. So here's the thing. First of all, it's not only completely my decision with the band.
No, of course,
you know,
the band members have to be involved.
Yeah, and by the time, you know, Omar and Jonathan, both guitar players, have been the band members that have been with me since the creation of the band, the foundation of the band. Then Danny, our actual drummer, joined with the Maris in vocals as we were recording the EP. And basically what we wanted to do with the vocals is that, first of all, there's not really a lot of actual singers in the scene here that want to play metal or sing metal. Most of metal singers over here are, you know, people that growl, scream, which is fine, obviously. But in the genre that I wanted to do, I wanted to explore a little bit more with melodies and other stuff with vocals. And that's pretty much what we were looking for. We were just trying to look for someone that could do vocal melodies that were catchy, that were interesting, and that were able to add something else towards the music rather than just having someone singing on top of the music. And that's when Damaris, I'm always going to be eternally grateful to her for saying yes and for staying in the band, because she was able to record that EP and make something out of these songs that were not hers, and she made them hers and made them sound the way they do now. Aside from that, she's been able to you know, give so much to the band with her vocal melodies and her vocal lines, and she also writes the lyrics. And she's a great lyricist.
I was going to ask about the lyrics.
Yeah, she's amazing. She has a great vocabulary. I think people will be able to see that more on the new stuff, because most of the stuff that she did or that we've done on the new stuff, it's her writing. The songs in the EP, 2 of them I wrote them. Darren Ray and Desires, I wrote those lyrics. And
I love Desires. That's a great song.
Thanks, thank you. That was the first song we ever wrote, actually. And then Lepidoptera was actually written by Rob. He wrote the lyrics for that one. Then moving forward, Intervention was I wrote the main idea, the original idea, and then Damaris kind of she made the lyrics herself, like the arrangement herself, and then the new ones it's completely her. So yeah, so to answer your question, I think what we were really looking for was trying to get someone that would do some interesting, catchy vocal lines and that go along with the craziness that's going on in the music.
I think you succeeded because something that I love about her voice is that she can do cleans, she can do harsh vocals, and it sounds retro, but retro in a great way. Like it really captures that 70s vibe, but with modern tendency. And I think her voice, she was a great addition to the band. And I think she complements the music that you guys create so well. So yeah, it was very great. So I'm kind of pissed because I ordered the vinyl and I thought it was gonna get here yesterday, but it's still somewhere around in Florida. Like I wanted to show it, but I
can show it. I have it right here.
Oh yeah, show it, and then we can. I can show the artwork so people can look at it better.
I'm going to apologize because I am in my office maybe, and I have a little bit of a mess, but I have to take out the blur here so that way you can.
That's
people
okay.
Can appreciate.
I live with 2 kids.
Well, if you see here, there's like a sun right there. That's my dog, so I can say those are my kids. So here's the vinyl, the main gatefold with the artwork of our first.
I just love that cover art. I know it was done by an artist called Eric Mondoom, correct?
Mondoom, yeah, from Italy. He did this one, and he also he did all the stuff. This is the inside of the gatefold, and then the back cover.
Nice. Yeah, that's something that I remember when I first saw like let's show it here. I have a picture here so we can let me see if I can show it. So I can see if I can show the screen because I had why can't I show it right now? Let's keep talking about it. Forget it.
Okay. Yeah, the only thing I wanted to show is the actual vinyl. Yeah. This is we have 4 different colors aside from the regular black vinyl. We have this one that we called, I guess we called it Onyx for some reason. It has like some green, stuff in there. It's really cool. Aside from that, we have like this one that's a little bit like yellowish mustard. There's another one that's a little bit more green, completely green. And there's another one that's gray, I think. So I think, yeah, they were like random colors. Aside from that, the vinyl also includes a poster with 2 of the artworks from our latest split. This one was done by Ricardo Sanchez. He's a Puerto Rican artist.
Nice.
And he's really good. And this one was also done by another Puerto Rican artist, Yotam Malawe, really good close friend of ours. And he also includes the lyrics. We have a lyric sheet.
And right now, for the first EP, there's still people can still buy it on Bandcamp. All right, you still have copies.
Yeah, we have very few left. We have less than 10, I think. But yes, they are still available on Bandcamp. Pretty much everything is available on Bandcamp. That's our main web store for sure.
Yeah, Bandcamp. I think they have those things on Fridays where they have like Bandcamp Fridays and where people buy. I think that's where I bought the album.
Yeah, we tried to. So here's the thing: Bandcamp is the platform that got us, the more attention from new people. Like we're lucky to get a review from Bandcamp when our EP came out, and out of that review, we've got a lot of following out of it. So yeah, we just treat Bandcamp as our main platform for sure.
So when you released that the collaboration with the Stone Eye, how did that came about? Because I know that I found out about the Stone Eye because I think you posted on your page about the Ventura album. I think it was the Ventura album, and you put like I remember the bio if you like Alice in Chains. I'm like, yes, I'm gonna go listen to that, and yeah, they're a great band. How did that friendship and collaboration come into fruition?
For sure. Yeah, we did a short run in the US in February 2019. And one of the shows that we played was in Philly at Century Bar, and we played with them, with the Stone Eye. That's when we met them. We instantly clicked because we were really into their stuff, that their set. They were amazing live, and they also liked the stuff that we were doing. And yeah, remember that they came by our merch table, basically being very impressed. Well, not very impressed, but they were really digging our artwork, and we just started talking. After they played, I just came up to them and just told them, hey, we need to collaborate some other way. We need to do something. And then, yeah, basically we were just having that conversation on hold. Obviously, as same as everyone else, we had huge plans for 2020. Basically, the plan was we wanted to release the split tour with them, and right after the tour, we released our record. The record is going to come out this year, but obviously, for obvious reasons, it didn't happen.
That would have been awesome, but you know what? The good thing is that it's coming out, and that you kept at it. So I know that you covered King Crimson on the first EP with 21st Century Schizoid Man, and you covered Black Sabbath with Hands of Doom. Are there going to be more covers on the new studio release?
Well, I'm not sure. Well, not on the new one. We already halfway. We have another album coming out. We're going to be recording in Argentina this year. Actually, we haven't announced that, so I guess this is the first time we say that publicly. But we're gonna go to Argentina in September, and there have been talks of actually recording a cover for that one. And we are pretty much all over the place. We've talked about White Snakes. We've talked about Portishead. We've talked about
Portishead would be amazing.
Yeah, we've talked about many things, many options. I'm not sure if we're even going to do any of them, because I personally think, and this is my opinion, not the whole band's, but I personally think that the songs that we're writing now are really, really good. So we'll see how the writing process takes.
Talking about the new album that's being created right now, what can we expect? What direction is the band going on this full length that will hopefully come out this year?
Yeah, so the songs that we're making right now are actually from the album that but we're going to be recording in Argentina. So that may not come until maybe 2023. Now,
okay.
for the
so that
record,
would be like a second album.
That will be like a second album. Yeah,
the
second full length.
2 years have passed. You can release music. 2 years have passed.
Yeah, for sure.
The world is ready for more music.
Yeah, no, I mean the record that we're going to be putting out this year, we've had the masters for that record since May of 2021. So we've been holding on them. We just been waiting for the right time to release it.
And for that album that you recorded that you were going to put out in 2020, but you're going to release now, what can we expect from that album?
Sure. Yeah, we're going to. There's definitely going to be a little bit more of a prog direction. We still have the stoner doomy riffs for sure, but it's going to be it explores different influences within the band. We are not repeating any formula from the stuff that we did on the EP or the stuff that we did on the split. It's a complete new sound to what you've heard so far. And it's more towards like the prog side of things, and it's a combination of all of our influences. So yeah, I'm very excited. I think it's a great record. It's going to be a great set of songs, and I believe that everyone who has liked our stuff so far is definitely going to enjoy this.
Well, I'm really excited to listen to that. So what do you think that you will be releasing that one?
Well, I don't want to make any promises, but if everything goes according to plan, we hope that around starting the summertime, we should be listening to the first single.
Okay. And I was reading in your social that you have plans for tours, but not in the US, more for the Europe market, right?
No, I mean,
I think I read that.
If I don't think touring is going to happen for us maybe until 2023, because Wow, day jobs and all this stuff. We are trying to see if we can actually perform in Argentina when we go there to record.
Nice.
That's something that has not been set yet, but hopefully in the upcoming months we'll be able to work on that and talk about these things. But yeah, if we, I don't think we're going to tour. If we do play outside of the island, it's going to be in Argentina this year, and hopefully we'll be able to get a more of a decent tour next year.
Okay, but would you do like an album release in Puerto Rico?
Oh yeah. Hopefully, live shows, the stuff gets better here, and we'll be able to play live.
Let me know when to see if I can get a ticket and go there.
Sure, for sure. Yeah, we're definitely going to be announcing that. Show.
Yeah. So I know that you wear many hats. You do I was listening to a few of I've listened sporadically to a few of your podcasts for the Unsolicited Metal Podcast, and you write reviews for some pages and promote bands. Like, how do you get this energy to do so much? Because it seems like you never stop.
I have no energy. It's like the meme, the meme, the Hulk meme where he says, that's my secret. I'm always angry. That's my secret. I'm always tired. Always tired. Yeah, but like I said, I get bored easily. So if I'm not doing stuff, I just look the other way and see what I can do. So I'm thankful and grateful that I'm working with Dropout Media right now. It's a music marketing company that allows me to work with other musicians. Basically, share my knowledge around the music business and music marketing in general, and being able to also share my experience with upcoming artists as well. Aside from that, I love music. I love listening to music. I love discovering bands. So that's why I have the podcast. That's why I write for Ghost Cold Magazine. And for example, I've been able, thanks to Ghost Cold Magazine, I was able to interview Martin Mendez, bass player from Opeth and White Stones last year, which is a huge honor. It was something great. I was able to interview Ross Jennings from Haken. I've been able to speak with Brian Beller, bassist for Steve Vai and Metalocalypse and the Aristocrats. I've been able to speak to a lot of my heroes. I've also been able to, on my podcast, I've been able to talk to some of the smaller bands like Mir from Norway, which was my favorite record last year. I've been able to. I remember
you posted a lot about that band.
Yeah, that was a great.
I was listening to a few, Mars, Red Sky. I listened to one with a grasshopper something name.
The grasshopper lies heavy. Yeah,
that one was funny because you were discussing Metallica. Yeah, and about that, people that don't know, you actually opened for Metallica. That's back correct. In, I think it was in 2016. I remember that concert. I was so jealous, but happy for you guys for you opening for Metallica. How was that experience of meeting like legends like Metallica?
Yeah, I mean, it was a bizarre day for sure. I always talk whenever I tell this story, I always say that it was the best and worst day of my life at the same time. It was very stressful because everything was last minute. We just, for those that didn't know, we were able to open that show because we won a competition, and basically they announced us as winners the day before the show or 2 days before the show.
I remember. I think it was like the day before that they announced it.
Yeah, so we had to rehearse, and we had to and they didn't even have a room for us to be able to be there. It was a mess, but in the end, and also we were able to do sound check. There were so many things that happened within the actual organization of the show that were just a big headache because I wanted to have a perfect night for us, which in my opinion didn't happen. But at the same time, I was able to see people's faces and their support, and that was just overwhelming. So
I remember I got there early so I could get to the Safacon set. So out of those, who was the most friendly of the Metallica bunch?
Lars. Well, not
Lars, really?
Lars and James were the most friendly, to be honest. They were all great. Yeah. They were all cool, super cool. But I was mostly surprised by Lars because, of course, all the stuff you've heard from him. But one of the things I always respect from someone else, from a human being, is that if they greet you for the first time and they look straight to you in the eyes and they shake your hand, that's someone that I will respect from the get-go. And that was something that Lars did. You know, it wasn't like, hey, you know, I'm Lars Ulrich, respect me. No, he
No.
came from a true origin, true place from and that was awesome. That was awesome. But obviously, you know,
Yeah.
James was the guy I wanted to be when I started playing metal. So having him put his arm on me and like, you know, making jokes with us, that was just
No,
that was it. That was it.
awesome, you know. And you know, a lot of people shit on Lars, but you know what? He was kind of right with Napster. Because back in the day, he took a lot of shit Napster, and now everyone's crying because of Spotify and being paid less. But you know what? If more artists would have said something back in the day, maybe things would be different now.
Yeah,
Who
maybe.
knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a genius. He knows what he's doing. He has always done what he's done. He's doing. He's a genius, and as far as his drumming, he used to be a great drummer. It's just he probably doesn't need to be a prolific drummer anymore. He's already made the money he made, and he keeps selling stuff. So
I can't play
whatever.
anything, so I don't care. So
yeah,
you know, so last year, besides doing Moths things, you joined Calamity. I remember that you put in the Facebook that you joined Calamity. How has that being with the Calamity camp? Are you recording with Calamity as well?
yeah, we're actually done. We finished recording the album. I think it was around August, September last year. We've just spent it was actually the summertime last year. We've spent this month mixing the album. Now it's entering mastering stage at the mastering stage. So hopefully that's something that's going to come out this year as well. Yeah, it's been great. It's been great. It's definitely a different approach to, or like a different experience compared to all the other bands I've been. And that's the most interesting thing about this. That's why I like to, you know, share the space and play with other musicians so I can learn the ways that they go about creating music and, you know, making that community sense within the band and kind of like going about the whole thing. Yeah, it's been great. I'm really excited to know what people will think about these new songs. It's definitely different, but still very heavy and it's still very Calamity. So I'm very excited to see what's people's reaction. And more than anything, I'm super excited. I can't wait to actually play live with them. Cause you know, those people, the people that haven't seen Calamity has always been a band that's super energized live. And I consider myself very energized when I play live. So, you know, seeing them from the outside when I used to see them live was like, oh, it would be really fun to get on the stage with these guys and play with them. So now I have the opportunity to do that. And we'll see what happens. Hopefully, you know, I'm getting older. Hopefully, I'll be able to take it.
You're not that old.
Well, I turned 30 this year, and the pandemic has not been friendly to me. So
hasn't been kind. Yeah, it hasn't been kind to anyone. So getting back to the Moths camps, that you now released that vinyl and you're ready to go. You have already something produced and you're going to Argentina for the new album. Are you using for the artwork? Are you gonna use the one that you did for the EP or some Puerto Rican artists? What can we expect in the artwork? Because I know that artwork for you is just as important as the music is.
Oh yeah, and we are coming with a lot of artwork, lots of interesting things. I'm actually waiting for 2 more pieces to be done, and we're done. We hired a group of at least 10 different artists to work on this stuff. So I'm not going to say who, because, you know, I'm probably going to spoil some things.
You'll have to wait.
Yeah, you're going to have to wait. But I can tell you, and I promise, and I've been telling this on socials for a long time, it's going to be worth it. We're going to have a lot of really interesting, really cool things happening.
And for that new album, are you planning on doing a vinyl release as well? Or are you going to see how it goes and then see if you do a vinyl pressing later on?
Well, hopefully. I mean, this whole process of releasing the vinyl was a thing. I learned a lot. Releasing vinyl as an independent band, and honestly, it's my first time as well. You know, there's a saying in Spanish that says, "No aprende de cabeza ajena." You don't learn from someone else's mistakes. So I was a little bit, you know, I wanted to do things my way, and it didn't work 100%. So, you know, again, hopefully we'll be able to release a vinyl. I think it should merit a vinyl release because, again, the artwork
And the
that we
music,
have ready for this. Oh yeah, the music. I think the recording is actually really well made for a vinyl release. But yeah, hopefully we'll see what happens in these. Honestly, this 2 months, we'll be able to make that decision.
yeah, I know since last year, I know that you got into vinyl collecting, me as well, and it's a good collecting, but my God, is it expensive?
Oh yeah, I
Go down
spent
that rabbit hole.
Yeah, I spent like 5K in 3 months. The first 3 months I got into this thing. And the reason why I actually got into vinyl or bought a vinyl player was because of our vinyl release.
Right.
Because I didn't it wasn't going to be, productive if I actually release a vinyl record without having somewhere to play it. So yeah, that's the reason. And then a lot of other stuff. I have a lot of other albums here in my closet and more coming.
Yeah, I've been growing out of that too. So I know that you're a massive Opeth fan. Like anyone who knows you knows that you're obsessed with them. Like, would that be like your dream tour to have Opeth tell you like, hey, Moths come open for Opeth, or would you have like a total Wayne's World moment, like you're not worthy?
I don't know. Maybe if you asked me that question 5 years ago, I would be yes, totally yes. But I'm not sure if I want to. I mean, it would be awesome to see Opeth every single night. I would totally do that. But I don't know. I think there's some other bands that we were probably a little bit more, we would fit a little bit more. Maybe Baroness could be a good option.
I think Mastodon would be cool.
And Mastodon would be a great option as well. But, at this point, honestly, anything will be great. If we get called by Opeth, I might just shit my pants and say yes. But yeah, that'll be awesome.
Well, Weslie, I know you're a busy man, and I want to thank you for taking time to talk with me. And for those of you that don't know, there's still copies of the first EP on Bandcamp. So where can they get Bandcamp? For now, exclusively on Bandcamp, correct?
Yeah, they can. If they have issues with Bandcamp, because I know for a fact that people have issues with PayPal and Bandcamp, feel free to write us directly. We can figure it out. But yeah, we still have copies of our CD. It's right here. It's pretty much the same thing I showed around the vinyl.
I actually have the CD one.
Yeah, it's a really interesting CD. I think it has the same artwork as the vinyl release.
I actually bought that one with the shirt that I have on.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. We have a few of those too. There's I think there's like 1 or 2 left, but we have a few of those. We have old T-shirt designs as well. And honestly, if you want to also support us with the vinyl release, feel free to do so. We have plenty copies left, but it was only a limited edition, so we only released 100 copies. So they're going to sell fast
tomorrow.
Hopefully, yeah. And then we have a bunch of merch stuff. Right now we're just trying to get rid of all the stuff that we have to make space for the new one. And I, like I said, there's a lot of really cool artwork coming, and it's definitely going to be worth spending your money on it. So, and I want to take the opportunity and thank you for this wonderful conversation, and also thanks to everyone that has supported us throughout the years. Like you mentioned at the beginning of the call, it's so many things have happened this past few years that it's easy for us to say we're done, we're just gonna quit. And we just believe in the music, and we believe that people out there will like the stuff that we're going to put out. So again, thank you for all the support.
All these shitty years that we've had, I think we need music more than ever. I think music is very important for the mental health, and support music, buy music. It's important for at least I love. I stream, but I buy too. So it's a healthy balance. So Weslie, thank you for taking time with me, and hope to be listening to that new album pretty soon. So everyone, remember that first Moths EP is now on Bandcamp. There's limited copies, so get on there and buy it. So until next time, the Shield Dude in the Couch, good night.